let's now proceed to the next topic. So we also have our interjection list here. So let me read this. So now we will be discussing about the sentence placement. Okay, yes, Ms. Ryudike, can you please read the information being presented? Yes, thank you so much. So we are commonly use interjection in speech and in our everyday conversation with the people around us. But there are some situations, there are some instances that we have to put that into writing. So it's very important that we know the placement of interjection in a sentence, right? So for example, number 1, that's a beautiful dress. 2, it's freezing in here. 3, oh my god, we won. Okay, so now we will proceed to the punctuation. So as mentioned, interjection can stand alone. So therefore, they can be punctuated with a period, an exclamation point, or a question mark. The punctuation we choose depends on the emotion that we want to convey. For example, when our emotion is strong, what kind of punctuation we will be using? Exclamation point, right? And when we are just narrating, then the exclamation point, I mean the punctuation that we will going to use is only comma or period. So however, since interjection are not complete sentences, some writers prefer to attach them to a complete sentence with a comma. Ultimately, it is up to preference. So it is really up to us of what kind of emotion or what kind of punctuation mark that we will going to use that will mirror our emotion or feelings on that specific moment. Okay? There are different punctuation marks that are usually used in interjection. The first one is exclamation point. We use an exclamation point when the emotion we want to convey is very strong and it is not a question. For example, hooray, I got accepted to my choice university. 2, yeah, I hate coconuts. 3, congratulations, that was an impressive victory. So we are using exclamation point when our emotion is strong. Okay, but the sentence is not in a questioning or in inquiry format. Okay, so when the expression is weaker, we can use a period or a comma. So for example, well, isn't that nice? Oh well, shoot. So in those kind of interjection, we can just use period or comma because the emotion that we are using in that kind of specific sentence is just weaker than the exclamation point. So for the question mark, if the interjection expresses disbelief, uncertainty, or is an interrogative, we should use a question mark. So the same thing with exclamation point. When the emotion is strong or the sentence is in inquiry, then we can use the question mark punctuation. Okay? Okay, class. So for the application, I want you to answer the given interjection exercise. So it has 10 items and you have to identify what kind of interjection that is you are going to put in the blank. Okay? Is there any question about the lesson that we have tackled? Are you sure? None? Then I will be going to ask you. So, what you have learned in our lesson. So, can you give your insight or understanding about the topic that we have discussed today? Okay, yes, Carl? Okay, class, thank you for sharing your understanding and insight about the topic, about the interjection. And I am really glad that you really understand all the information that I gave you and you really interact in all of our activities. So that is a good job. So, okay, for your assignment, this is a group activity. So it is role-playing presentation. So I will be dividing you into 5 groups and with a maximum of 10 members. So I will divide this whole class in 5 groups and the maximum should be 10 members. So I will give every group a different scenario, different situation, and you have to role play that in our next discussion. Okay, before we start next week for our next discussion, you will first present those role playing, and I am really expecting that in every situation you will go in to show the different interjection, different emotions that is being presented or that should be presented in that kind of situation. Okay, I may understand. So I will just give you the criteria later so that you can base your performance or role playing in that criteria. Okay? Thank you so much and goodbye.